Ogutcu, who's in London, a former Turkish diplomat. Mehmet, thank you so much indeed for your time. How important a moment is this in terms of Turkey's presence on the international stage?
Well, first of all, this is a delightful news that Volkan Bozkır, a friend and colleague from the diplomatic service, and he's a quite accomplished diplomat. He served also as chief advisor to President Demirel. He was ambassador in a couple of posts. Then afterwards, he moved on to politics, and he was the Minister for European Affairs in the cabinet. And then he became also the chairman of Turkish Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee. He's such a distinguished, he has a distinguished career. Therefore, it's a tribute to his personal qualities. But also, as you say, this is a credit to Turkey's standing and recognition as a major actor on the global scene. This post is for 1 year, as we know. He will be taking over from the current post holder, a Nigerian personality. And before him, there was also a Spaniard. So this is changing hands, of course, all the time. But Turkey generally underrepresented in international organizations. And I think this selection, unopposed, unanimously, as the only candidate, shows also the importance that Turkey is playing in international appeal and also able to garner votes from all corners. Because as you said, there are 193 sovereign states as members. And so it has important functions. One of them, of course, is to selecting non-permanent Security Council members and endorsing them, appointing the United Nations Secretary General. More importantly, of course, the controlling the budget. Without its approval, budget cannot go ahead. And in that regard, it's also quite representative. I mean, there are 6 main organs of the United Nations. The General Assembly is the most important one among all of them. So Volkan Bozkır had a vision, because we knew already back in January that he will be elected. And his vision is, first, there is a significant absence of global leadership right now when we need it most. And perhaps United Nations might be somehow filling some part of this gap, because UN also lag behind. It has become only a talking shop rather than an organization working together and creating measurable and tangible results. There's so much criticism on it. Turkey also kept saying that the world is larger than Big Five. That's the members of Security Council, permanent members. So I don't think that Volkan will be able to make much change, because his term will start probably in September or just before that, because usually General Assembly discussions start in September, goes all the way to a good part of January, and it's de facto around 3-4 months of active engagement. Then if there is any special session or emergency position, he can call for that. But he's in a position.
Okay, Mehmet, listen, Mehmet, we've only got a couple of minutes left, and then we'll have to leave it there. But just say, the thing is, I think it's really great that you mentioned the world is bigger than 5. For me, that's one of the most iconic quotes of the past, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years. Because the world works according to UN format of 5 permanent members on the Security Council who have that power of veto. And as you say, like so many people say, it means that the United Nations has only become a talking shop. Because as soon as there's a veto, something doesn't happen. So just in about 60 seconds, where do you think Volkan Bozkır can make a difference in terms of what the UN General Assembly does and not the UN Security Council? You'll have to be brief, sorry.
Yes, unfortunately, he doesn't have much power to do that. He can bring this issue more and more to the picture. He can organize recommendation resolutions from UN General Assembly, but the world is changing, and there is no way that the current permanent 5 can continue business as usual. Perhaps he might plant the seeds of further action. I don't think during his term he can achieve much in this regard. This is a very colossal task, but at least he can organize things which might lead to this changing governance, making it more representative, bringing in other major powers, not only Big 5, because we know that power shift has brought new players, including Turkey, Indonesia, Brazil, major regional powers. So we have to find
Mehmet, we have to leave it there. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much indeed for joining us to talk about Volkan Bozkır, Turkey having the presidency of the UN General Assembly.